Distance fans here again. I just finished my work interview. I was applying for a band 6 position. You know, I love dressing up and doing costumes. When I get an opportunity to dress up, I really want to hold it. I really want to make the effort. For this job interview, I was thinking I want to look really corporate. I want to look like a stewardess slash principal. I wanna savor the moment, you know. And that's why I was like, I want to do a video while I've got this on. I want to go live while I got this on. I'm not gonna wear this all the time. Anyway, how was the interview? I know a lot of people who watch me actually do care about me and my whereabouts, and I know that some of you have been wishing me luck and wanting to know how did it go, you know. So basically, I felt like the presentation went very well. You didn't experience any moments where I had a mental block while I'm doing the presentation. Actually, I came very, very prepared. So normally, when I go to work, my bag will have food. Because this time, I'm only there for a few hours. So I don't really need to bring lunch or food or anything. I have I have my projector with me. I want to make sure that everything will work. I actually practiced here at home, like how does it sound? Can people hear it? Everything that I need. It has to be good working order while I'm using it. This is my HDMI to phone connector. Connect your phone there. Connect the HDMI on the other side. And you can also use this to... Why am I telling you this? I think it's a good information. I think it's pretty cool, you know, that you can use it to connect your phone to a projector. At the same time, you can use it to connect your Wii Switch, your Switch, to your TV. To put your Mario Kart game on the TV. Pretty cool gadget this is. So my HDMI connector, which connects... This has a connection for the HDMI, and then the other side will connect to the projector. No, not this one. Sorry, that's a power. And then obviously we have the power source. Yeah, I have everything. You know, I even brought my charger for my phone. I was ready. When I found out that I'm interested in this job, when the position came out, I've asked around. What do they think can help me? And I guess sometimes that's what you can do. I mean, I guess in the past, like I have experience and like I have noticed people like out of observation from people, like when they're interested in a job position that's a bit higher and you have a lot of competition, sometimes you feel shy to talk about it and you kind of feel a bit embarrassed to express that, you know what, I am interested. You know, I want to do that. I wanted to be open about it. I wanted to talk about it. I was very open to my colleagues, you know, who are interested, and we all kind of supported each other. And it's so beautiful because we actually know that we are both interested, but we're supporting each other to get it. The website that I was looking at didn't show the post, and my colleague was actually the one who forwarded to me where to access this website, which in turn I have forwarded to everyone else. When the post came out, I think there was a very limited amount of time that you can apply for it. And so like, I think for me, when I first found out about it, there was only like a couple of days and then it will close. And so I was like, what about all my other colleagues who are interested? They should know about it before it closes. Because if that was me, I would be devastated. This position doesn't come very often. I would be devastated if I didn't get the chance to at least apply for it and try. So I posted it on the group. It feels like there's a bit of competitiveness, but we still care for each other. I love that, and I love seeing that. One of my colleagues who are applying for it actually is in the Philippines when the interview dates came out, and I messaged him. We've got an interview, just so that he's aware, because he was the one who sent me the information about the website. And so now it's like, I'll send you the information about the interview just in case, because he's on holiday. What if he doesn't know? It also says on the website, we are not going to do this on any other date. I thought he should know. We know that we're competing against each other, but we're kind of supporting each other along the way at the same time. We're lifting each other up instead of pulling each other down. I think that is so beautiful. That's why I want to share that experience with you. The interviews came out, right? And so I was like, what do I do with the interview? And I know that there's a lot of people around that you can ask from, and they probably know a lot of things, and all you need to do is ask, and they can provide you with a lot of information. So, I was asking around actually, and to be honest with you, it helped me a lot in preparing for this interview, and I feel like I was really prepared. I didn't think I was 100% perfect. There was times when I was like, oh my goodness, I know the answer to that question. Yes, one of the people who I asked recommended a list of questions. These are the most common questions that people ask, and that's really helpful. If you're planning to prepare for an interview, that's one of the things that you can do to prepare. Like, ask around, put your mind into it. So I don't know if I'm gonna get this, okay? So, fingers crossed. But I want to share the experience with you because I feel like even if I don't get it, I feel like I had a good experience during the interview. It wasn't that stressful for me because I guess I had that preparation beforehand. It helped me be calm and confident. So basically, we were asked to do a presentation about the importance of teamwork in the operating room. You know me, I like making things exciting. I always have that thing inside me. I like to be unique. I like to I like to give an impact. I want you to always experience something different. Obviously, I did the exact same thing for my presentation. And I am so super happy by the reaction of the people who were interviewing me after my presentation because they said, wow, that's really unique. And that was their feedback to me. And they said, do we even have to ask you any of these questions anymore? So that made me feel like, oh my gosh, I really did a good job. It's what I was aiming for, and it did work hard. And in the stuff that I have put on my presentation, I actually made a little mini video. I went around my department to see what is the idea of teamwork for my colleagues, who are working in different teams, because I think it makes sense. We're talking about teamwork. People who are involved in it in our department, different members of the team have a say. I can give my band 7s an idea of what our department thinks. One of the things that I have learned is that the way you present something should be based on your audience or your target audience. So at the moment, I know that my target audience are gonna be band 7s. So I have made my fit for the band 7s, and I made it so that they will learn something from it. They will take something out of it that they can actually use in their practice in the department. At the same time, obviously, I have to sell myself. So I actually put a video I have made myself a real life example. I've asked people, what have I done to demonstrate teamwork? Different members of the team saying what they have experienced of me demonstrating teamwork. I think that was so nice. I was making it. It was really heartwarming because I never knew some of the things that people say. I never knew that they thought that of me. Some of it surprised me, made me feel really empowered and confident and encouraged. And it's nice to hear. No matter how confident you are about yourself, it's still nice to hear somebody else's perspective of you, especially if it's something positive. Sometimes you don't even know that they see that. It's nice to know that somebody actually recognizes that about you. And then we did the questions. And I think, what were the questions that they asked me? They asked me about, I remember that they asked me about the 6 C's of nursing, which I remember, and I was so happy when I heard the question because I'm like, oh my goodness! I actually prepared for that. So as soon as she said it, I'm like, yes, I know this. So I was like, care, commitment, competence, courage, communication, compassion. And then they were like, oh, which one do you want the most? And I've always thought that care is very important. It's like the heart of nursing.
This was all I remember after.
Could not elaborate on it, but the only thing that I could remember about it is that it's what helps us maintain a standard of quality of care. The job description, I'm so glad I read about that. But I don't think I managed to enumerate each and every one of all that's in my job description, but I remember about providing nursing interventions, teaching, managing, especially when the band 7s are not around. I think those are the 3 things that I remembered, but I think the rest of it, I don't really remember that much.
I definitely did not mention anything about ordering.
They asked me about, as a band 6, what will you do to improve teamwork? I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I said when I become a band 6, I want to be a role model. Basically, practice what I preach. Spread awareness. Us having different roles. Oh, give an example of when you have managed your time in theater, I think, is something like that. I just remembered mentioning that one of my strengths is I have speed. And it's not just because I'm fast in, doing things, but it's also because I can manage my task according to priority. There's a lot of guidance that I use to make those priorities so I can make a critical decision on which task should go first and which should be prioritized. Some of the ways that help me in prioritizing is, we have the ABCDE, airway, breathing, circulation, disability exposure, and then we have the S-bar, situation, background, assessment, and recommended intervention. And then we have the bioethical principles of beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and autonomy. Giving an example of where it happened, it's we are not sufficiently staffed, and then there are times when I would have to manage the tasks that we have. I move the paperwork and the computer as below the priority list. We'll first focus on the patient. The patient will come first. Whatever we need to do with the patient right this very moment, that is what we have to deal with first. And the paperwork, the computer work, it's not urgent. So it's not something that's going to put the patient in danger if you don't do it right this very second. Obviously, it's important, but it can be done when all the urgent activities have been done. So that's how I manage my time. And then they said, give an example of when it was crucial that you're able to aid in communication. That was crucial to patient care. I said, well, we work in a very diverse environment, and there's a lot of people who speak a lot of different languages, and one word can mean something else to someone else. It helps when you clarify. There was a moment, I think it was last week, where the surgeon said, have you exsanguinated? And somebody said yes, but I didn't see it myself. So I just double checked, exsanguinated. And then to confirm that this person knows what was meant, I said black sausage. It's basically a black rubber thing.
Okay, so before anything, I'll have to explain to you what is exsanguination. So in this case, we're trying to drain the blood from the patient fingertips towards his body, or we apply tourniquet.
In the end, we realized, oh no, we have not done the exsanguinator, and we should do it now before we put the tourniquet on. That was my example. I don't think I remember anything else anymore. It's like my mind is drained. I feel so drained. I feel so excited and nervous at the same time. That's how I felt this whole day. I feel kind of proud of myself from the little mini clips that I've collated from my colleagues. And I want to share it, but I'll have to go and ask people if they're happy for me to share it on my social media. That would be really cool. I actually sent it to my kids, I showed my dad. Good luck to me, fingers crossed. So they asked me in the end, do you have any questions? And you know what was my question? My question was, how long will it take for us to find out? So apparently, I should find out tomorrow. So the last person that they interviewed was around 2:30. So my slot was at 1:30, and then the next one after me was at 2:30. And then apparently they will deliberate after that last one, and they should find out tonight. And then they will text tomorrow because she said, are you in tomorrow? And if not, they will let us know. Ah! Oh my goodness!
Fast forward to tomorrow. Now it's the tomorrow. And I know now if I got it or not. And sadly, I did not get it. Actually feel kind of sad about that. I was actually just talking about that. Like, I was just live. We all react to, like, when you don't get the job, or like when you don't get something that you really, really want. We all react differently to it. Before, I remember our cheerleading contest, you know, sometimes we, like, when we think that, oh, we should have won, we start, like, crying, you know, that we didn't get it. And that was, like, when I was 15, you know. And we're like, no, like, I can't accept this, you know. But I guess now that I'm older, I'm a bit more chilled out about a lot of things in life. I guess I've learned sometimes those things that you find really, really important at this very moment, eventually they're not really that important. You realize that it's just temporary. For this very moment, okay, that's probably what you think is so super important. But then later on, so your interests change, your priorities change, your health change. All of a sudden, it's like, you know what? The cheerleading contest that we had a long time ago, that doesn't matter to me anymore now. I don't feel hurt about not winning that contest now. In a way, from experience, I already know it's not the end of the world. There's more to life. There's a lot of ways that help me cope with these things. One of the reasons I'm not scared to go and do things, I do what I want, basically. If I think it's going to make me happy, I will go and do it. I try my best to not let the fear of rejection, the fear of disappointment stop me anymore. I mean, there's a lot of times in my life that, you know, the fear of what people will think, the fear of rejection, the fear of disappointment stopped me from even trying. And now, before I even convince myself to try, one of the things that I able to convince myself to, you know, try, go do it. It's something that makes you happy. Go and do it. You're not hurting anybody. Go and do it. It's the knowledge that, you know what? You know yourself now. You know that you're gonna make yourself feel better. You're gonna think of something to make yourself feel better. Even if you do fail, you know, even if you do feel rejected, even if you do feel disappointed, you can carry on from that. Now I'm here, you know, I'm here and I'm already got the news. I still feel sad, and I think it's good to acknowledge whatever it is that you actually feel right this very moment. And then, you know, give yourself some time to think and process how you feel. I think that's very important with anything, especially if it's something that gives you a little bit of a heartbreak. I feel like that. My heart feels a little bit hurt. I do feel it. And then I feel sad. That's what I feel. I know that I will find something positive about it somehow. And I have a friend who was actually telling me, don't hope too much, okay? Like, he guessed exactly who are gonna get the post. And I was like, okay, I know myself. I said, I'm still excited. Like, I still feel excited, and I still feel like, you know, I want to do it. I still want to have the hope. It's okay, I can do it. I still want to try. I still want to do my best. I said to him, I know myself. I know I can make myself feel better after. One of the things that I do to make myself feel better is I try to find something positive that will come out of it. Sometimes it's very difficult to find. Like, sometimes you need a microscope. Apparently, you need a microscope, or maybe a telescope. It's that far away. A magnifying glass, whatever. And we are not talking about packages, okay? In anything, no matter how bad it is, there will always be something positive. You just have to find it. For this particular occasion, okay, what is the positive outcome? Number one, in anything, there will always be something that you will learn from it. So, in whatever it is that you have encountered, there will always be something to learn. Number two is the experience. Number three is I enjoyed the dressing up.
And I did enjoy the presentation. Collecting all those videos actually warmed my heart a lot. I learned a lot about how people think of me that I never knew about. That was nice. And then number 4, how many how many have we got there? How many have we got now? That's how you do not get the job. You don't even know how many. You don't even know how to count to 5. And that's the basics of scrub nurse. You need to learn how to count to 5. Next one is gonna be an additional responsibility. We all have, this brain space, the space for your emotion, your space for yourself to carry whatever stress. I've always tried to keep it free for my family life, for my home life. Actually, never been interested in this position because that's what I was scared of. I was afraid of the additional burden to my life. I wanted my brain to have some space for thoughts towards my family. I wanted my emotions not to all be poured out into work. I want some of my emotions left for my home life. The stress. I'm trying to run away from the stress. I want less stress at work so that I can handle more stress in my home life. This was from the time the kids were younger. I've always done that. But now, the reason why I applied for this was I was actually kind of feeling bored. I was like, oh my gosh, the same thing over and over again. And then my kids are grown up. It's like, they need less from me. My work is starting to feel easier. If I don't do it, then actually, okay, so that brain space will still be mine. That emotional space will still be mine. The less stress is still gonna be mine. I have a lot of interests. See, this is one of my interests, like doing these videos, having my channels. I have a meet and greet next week. I've been traveling all the time. If you think about it, the positive thing will be, actually, you know what? Instead of that brain space and effort and time, being allocated into work, I have that brain space and effort and time, to allocate somewhere else in any of these various interests that I have. I'm always trying to keep myself happy. To keep myself happy, I try to satisfy myself with all these interests that I have. I want to keep the variation. I know some of my freedom, there will be part of my freedom that will be going away. So when I applied for that, I'm ready to let my work, my job, have this part of me, and then now it's like, okay, so I get to keep this part of me. It's fine. That could be a positive. I get to keep this part of me. And then I guess I have more content. Something happened. Something interesting. I'm sad. Joking. See, I can add that as a positive. I have some more content. At least if somebody else out there is having the same experience, then you will know that, maybe we all kind of experience the same things. Maybe we can share ideas how to maybe deal with it better, to have a better outcome for yourself. No, of course, I will listen to their feedback. She said she will give me feedback, and that's always good. So this is what their perception of me was. Because you have to remember, every single person has a different perception. Different people will perceive you a different way, and then it's good to see their point of view. You don't always have to feel like there's something wrong with you. Obviously, there's always something to improve. What I mean is, especially, for those people who do auditions all the time. One person might think that, oh, you are so amazing. Another person might think, what the hell is this? Different people will have a different understanding. So don't feel too bad about it. That's just the way it is. I don't really tend to overthink things. My next thought process will be, okay, so that's gone. What do I do now? How do we move forward? Now it's like, okay, go back to normal. And then, one of the things that I do to make myself feel better, check the basics. Hold on a minute. Look at yourself. Wait a minute. I'm okay. I'm breathing. I'm eating. I'm alive. Is anybody hurting me? No, nobody's hurting me. Am I imprisoned? No, I have freedom. I have a lot of freedom. Okay, so you know what? You're okay. You're actually okay.
Sometimes that's what I tell myself. So now, if you think about it, actually, I'm just back to my normal self. And I'm actually enjoying that life anyway. Maybe I'll try again someday. Actually, I'm at my daughter's party. It's really weird because I am in my ex's this bed. Yeah. This bed is my ex-husband and his partner's bed. I'm in their room. I know it's weird, right? But we have developed a harmonious relationship with each other. And at the moment, they're in my house. So for tonight, we swapped houses so that their baby can sleep better while this party is happening. Because they have a 3-year-old toddler. I met him when he was 6 months. And we have been friends ever since.
I understand that.
This is the first teenage party that I have to supervise that is like this. One of the things that I've encountered that is difficult for a parent who grew up in a different country, because your culture here is different from our culture there. Sometimes it's difficult to tell, am I being too strict? Like, the law is different. In the Philippines, it's like if you're below 18, you can't make your own decisions. I have to decide for you. One of the advantages of my ex-husband's new partner being English and growing up here is that we can ask her a lot of questions and she would know the norm in this country, so that at least we could kind of have an idea of how to deal with things. Because this is, for me, I feel like I'm in a gray area. Like, I'm not sure. My ex listed down like a list of guidelines, and if I have a problem, I can tell them. But my daughter hired a bouncer, which actually, you know what? At first, I thought it was like, that's a very unique idea. I think that, actually, you know what? I've never thought of that myself, And I'm there's a part of me that's proud of her for coming up with something that's very unique. Like, I've never seen a, teenage party with a bouncer before. Actually, the advantage of having a bouncer in a party is that he will keep them out of trouble. He actually takes care of, for people not to, be too rowdy, not go too much trouble. So actually, not too bad. Might not be a bad idea. Hire a bouncer for a teenage party. You wanna see the bouncer? I'm not feeling so good. I found out that I didn't get the job, and then I have to do this tonight. So this is like a challenging day for me. So good luck to me. Hopefully I'm still alive tomorrow. Hopefully nobody gets in trouble with the police. That's what I'm scared of.
Anyway, I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. I'm a ninja without a name. Don't fall in love.